welcome to Megan Sullivan Art. This is a video flip through of my very latest journal that I've just finished, which is a hardcover book. So I've gutted this book that I bought secondhand and then have just used the cover to form this book. It's a medieval theme and I have used a digital kit and I can't remember who that's from, but I will put the link in down below. So it's really, really gorgeous. It's just pages for this one. So the cover material was from a kind of like an Indian dress, sort of like a sari, but a bit different. This fabric here was actually the strip along the base of the dress. So this was the hem, and this was the body of the dress. So that's where I got this beautiful fabric from. So I wanted something quite regal and something kind of metallic. So that's where that's come from. This trim was a bit like a rickrack. I got that from one of the textile artists here in Alice Springs that I know, Philomena Harley. So that was used to glue down the centre there. This actual flower piece came on some ribbon that I bought second hand, and it was used to pin the ribbon down so it didn't unwind, and I just loved it, so I thought it went really well. So I've just backed it with some other fabric from another outfit that I bought, and this is actually an earring. So there was a pair of these, like a peacock feather, and I just thought that the colours of that went really well with this journal, and I wanted something very elaborate. So that's where that's come from. This is actually a photo which I got from Pixabay, I think it was, and I've sewn that to this backing fabric here. So this fabric and the blue actually came from a dress. It was the bodice part, so I've used that, and then it's been glued down onto the actual cover itself. So it has 116 pages altogether, 2 signatures, so it's very elaborately sewn with all sorts of different fabrics and bling, and there are journal cards and different tuck spots and things throughout this journal. So that's the top of the journal, and then on the side of the journal I've just sewn on these 2 sets of beautiful glass crystal beads, which are very sparkly with some antique brass spaces in between. So there's 4 spaces in the 3 beads, just sewn on with some wax linen. So there's 1 for each of the different signatures. So that's that. So the inside of the book is lined with one of my fluid acrylic paintings, which I pre-stitched before I actually glued it down. So it's quite a firm book, but once you get it open, it stays there. And then the lining, the spine itself has been lined with this coffee dyed lace trim there. So these pages are the actual digital kit itself. So there's that has been sewn to some shimmery kind of paper on that side. Here we have a coffee dyed pocket with a fabric embellishment. This is actually like an oracle card, which I backed with a shimmery paper. Coffee dyed paper there. Paper and fabric embellishment. Coffee dyed. I had this sort of tulle type fabric here, so I've used some of that and this green trim. Bit of crazy stitching, which again I got from Gypsy Rose Papery. I've seen her using that before and I love that idea. Printed kit. Coffee dyed paper here. This is another image that I got from Pixabay, backed with that nice beautiful shimmery fabric and paper. So that's a tuck spot there. This is actually a ribbon which I've sewn on with an eyelash trim. So that goes over both the pages there. That is some more fabric from the sari Indian kind of dress that I bought. A fabric pocket. This is fabric that I already had, some from the bodice of the other dress. This was an image I also got about medieval fashions with some of that shimmery paper on the back and a fabric trim. So that tucks in there. Then we have another printable page, which are just gorgeous. I love those. This is an image from a book on the 15th to the 19th century artists. So that's one of the images which I had to trim down to fit in. Nice gold trim rickrack here. with some yellow ribbon and fabric, coffee dyed paper, some more of the star ribbon, and some nice green and gold shimmery ribbon as well. Nice fabric trim. So I tried to get as sort of that kind of old medieval type theme. This is some beautiful velvet ribbon here, which I've done a zigzag and a star stitch on, and this is where that first lot of beads is attached to. So these were some necklaces, from necklaces that I'd found at the second-hand shop actually. So I stripped those off. Yellow ribbon, another printable with some line page. This is the middle of the signature. So these two pages have actually been sewn together. There's a zigzag stitch sewing those together. This is another fabric pocket here with that green trim. This is a knight on his horse with the gold rickrack on the shimmer paper. And another one of the oracle cards with the purple fabric backed onto that. It's called peacock paper, but it's just very different shimmery kind of paper. Very nice. Turning over the page, coffee dyed paper, fabric ruffle, paper trim. This is another image from Pixabay with some fabric, the peacock paper and shimmer paper. So that's actually a tuck spot, and this is just a sheet of that peacock shimmery paper behind there. Fabric ruffle, another image from the art book that I had, sewn onto the back of the printable kit. Fabric trim, the ribbon, green and gold ribbon trim with a star stitch going over the page. The fabric trim with that rickrack, which is the same as what I've used on the actual spine itself as well, going over the page. Fabric at the top. This actually forms two pockets, so there's two pockets there that it can be used. I haven't got anything in that. The other printable page, crazy stitching, more of that nice shimmery fabric from the dress on coffee dyed paper, zigzag stitching through there with the fabric ruffle. This is just some star stitching on that shimmer paper, which is what I've used to back a lot of the journal cards. End of the first signature, and here you can see the painting there. Printable page, more of that ribbon, coffee dyed paper, just a fabric tip up there, the velvet ribbon with that tulle trim there, just assorted different trims, fabric, printable page with that star ribbon. That's that green trim with some star stitching there, which looks really nice on coffee dyed. Fabric, bit of a collage here with a bit of paper behind it. Another one of the oracle cards. This is the Knight of Pentacles on that peacock paper. And this is a text image that I got of medieval text on that shimmer paper with the blue star ribbon. This is the ribbon, the fabric that was used for the front of the dress for the cover of the book. Lined paper there. Another image, another painting. This was kind of jute kind of trim that I found. The second half of the beads there with the star trim. A little bit of a collage there of paper and fabric. This is a little tuck spot in there, so that's coffee dyed paper, the ribbon, the rickrack and paper. This is a really nice image of a knight backed onto shimmer paper with the ribbon. So it's very much a writing journal. This beautiful trim has leaves on it, so I just couldn't resist putting a bit of that in there. Ribbon there which goes over the page. Printable. Middle of the second signature. Lots of space for writing, but also open to lots more embellishment if you wanted to go down that angle. This time I've actually sewed in a little drawstring bag. There's nothing in the bag, but you could put this tag in there because it does actually fit. So this is the chariot backed onto the peacock kind of paper. Some more fabric trims. Another image, I really like this one. That painting with the nice velvet trim there. An elaborate kind of pocket here with some trim and fabric. Tree picture there with a peacock. Sits in there neatly. Backs of the stitching and shimmery paper. Coffee dyed paper with the velvet trim. Printable coffee dyed paper. It has the eyelash, or I call it an eyelash stitch there. Crazy stitching. This is the back page of the journal, and this is actually some a picture of close-up of some stones from a castle wall showing the moss and everything growing on them. I just really like that because it was a little bit different, and that's got that tulle kind of organza fabric there as a tab, and that green and gold ribbon as the little band there, and the last page of the journal with the printable, and the back page which has got the other side of the painting, and just a velvet trim down this side. And that is the full journal. So it is very much open to further embellishment, a writing journal, adding in lots of pictures and memorabilia. And yeah, I hope you love it. It's pretty packed, but yeah, definitely open to a lot more additions and beautiful memories of your life. So this will be up on Etsy shortly. I am taking it to the Toldmore Markets in Alice Springs tomorrow, which is, can't remember what the date is, the 14th of October. So if it doesn't sell there, it will be on Etsy, and probably for $160. So, but I'll confirm that. Fantastic. So I hope you love it. It's very regal, very royal and elaborate, and I think it's one of the best that I've ever done so far. Thank you very much, and look forward to my next video. Thank you.